He has run a project called Project Vote for Acorn. He has served as legal counsel for Acorn. He's received contributions from the Acorn PAC. His campaign has contributed over $800,000 to Acorn, so there's clearly a tie.
Now, that was John Danforth last night on Hannity and Combs discussing Barack Obama's ties to the group Acorn. There are conflicts over voter registration and voting procedures as the election approaches. The Ohio Republican Party asked the federal appeals court to disallow same-day voter registration and voting to avoid voter fraud. Republicans have argued that Ohio voters have to be registered for at least 30 days before casting an absentee ballot. But late tonight came word that the federal court has ruled against the Republican request and will, in fact, allow same-day voter registration and voting. Joining us now is former Ohio Secretary of State Ken Blackwell. Ken, first of all, we know that Barack Obama not only represented legally this radical group Acorn, a group that has been accused of fraud in how many states now, just this year alone, but also
several.
His campaign has paid $800,000 to this group. If you don't have the proper checks and balances, in other words, you can register and vote the same day, isn't this setting ourselves up for massive voter fraud and perhaps worse?
Let me just alleviate some of your fears, Sean, by saying that they might register and vote on the same day, but those votes won't be counted until they're scrutinized on Election Day. Now, you paint an interesting and accurate picture of a disturbing pattern of associations. So now it's not just Acorn, it's Bill Ayers, and it is Saul Alinsky. And we're not out of the A's yet. You know, that is a disturbing pattern. Alinsky, Ayers, Acorn. And here is a totally discredited organization that the Democrats in Congress were trying to funnel even more millions of dollars to.
Considering all the allegations of voter fraud, considering the importance, the real importance in this election and in the last number of elections, no Republican's going to win the White House if they don't win the state of Ohio. I believe that.
Absolutely.
All right, so are we looking at an effort with Barack Obama funding associating with this radical group and this court ruling, the potential that there's going to be an attempt to steal the state of Ohio?
Well, let me put it to you this way, Sean. In 2004, George Bush won Ohio by about 118,000 votes. If you had turned 60,000 votes, it would have been President Kerry. That's about 4 or 5 votes per precinct. This race is going to be just as close. And one of the most deadliest crimes against democracy is voter fraud. Yeah. Here's an organization that has a history of voter fraud, and I think that what we're talking about is opening ourselves up to a vulnerability. It calls for eternal vigilance.
And interestingly, the allegations come from all the swing states, I doubt by accident. All right, I guess here's my question. Because, you know, now that this ruling has come in, I believe this is a severe problem. This is a group that Barack Obama should be called on and not have any ties to, not be funding, not have represented as a lawyer. So here's my question. What can the people of Ohio do to combat this?
First, we must be on our toes. Eternal vigilance. We can't go to sleep at the switch. We have a bipartisan system made up of an equal number of Democrats and Republicans, and we must make sure that it works.